The idea is when you read that book, you don't only smirk and say, "Oh, I'm so clever now. I know, and now I'm wiser." Yes, okay, you're wiser, but the thing is, how do you move? What do you do now? Because probably you cannot go to your company and say, "We stop doing agile. We don't use lean. We don't use whatever Toyota, blah blah." Okay, but you have to still live within a kind of organization. And when the next step comes, that is, you are able to look through the smoke and mirrors of what is being sold and either add your insights, or sometimes you cannot actually bend the system to your will, or you cannot make it work honestly. And it's not a bad thing to know that you're being played and to voluntarily depart from the system, like subtract yourself from the theater. Totally valid too. If you are fooled into investing your money, you might destroy a livelihood. But what is happening with those methods, unfortunately, is that many people have bet their entire livelihood, not just money, they have bet time. Time is very difficult to make up. And that's actually a tragedy, because you see people who have reduced their entire being to a certification they got in whatever method is in vogue in the past 7 years. And I'm not talking badly about, it's not that you can have your arguments. There are people who are dumping on Six Sigma, deservedly, for example. There are people who are criticizing Lean for being a copycat of Toyota production system. There are people who dunk on Agile because they see that it's turned into something weird, which is true. And yes, all of them, they somehow get mutated into, sometimes you could also call them grips. That's fine and well, that's all good and well. But the problem is, so many people reduce their entire professional existence over the previous years or decades to a certification, to a buzzword, to a set of buzzwords, a set of rituals. I have seen people who have so much to offer, right? They have amazingly nuanced things. And then the terms somehow get into their brains. They become like puppets, like agile sock puppets or lean aficionados. And then suddenly every rationale about why this is good is just goes away. It's good because it's lean. It's good because Toyota does it. It's good because Six Sigma, Motorola, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's good because design thinking and Ideal did it. It's unfortunate. I hope that people will avoid falling for the next trap through this. And at the same time, I hope that the executives will learn it, because actually the motivation for doing this edition is a chief financial officer of a company in the US who wrote me and said, "Isaac, you have another copy, because my copy is well worn out after all those years," because he gives it to everyone in his company when they join to protect them from that kind of BS. And I hope that this can serve as an inoculation. People should hopefully will understand when the next thing comes up to be a bit more critical, a bit more skeptical. This book focuses on the facts and on how business hype grabs hold of companies, organizations, people, and everything goes aflame. I'm fascinated by those topics. I think it's part of human experience. It doesn't need to be depth. It can be crypto, it can be anything. It can be a political party, it can be anything. Smoke and mirrors will always be there. But if we try to see how we can recognize them early, maybe we're not going to be one more of the victims. And this is what the book aims to become for organizations and for executives.